Our journey through Michigan's Leelanau Peninsula brought us to one of the crown jewels, Leelanau State Park. We spent the night camping here, and it truly feels like a hidden gem tucked away at the very tip of the peninsula. This park stretches across more than 1,300 acres of forest, sand dunes, and rugged Lake Michigan shoreline. It's where the wild, untamed beauty of the lake meets the calm, quiet embrace of the dense woodlands. Established in 1965, Leelanau State Park has been a peaceful haven for anyone looking to disconnect and lose themselves in the natural splendor of northern Michigan. Historically, this land has deep roots. Long before it became a state park, it was home to the indigenous peoples, including the Ottawa and the Ojibwa, who lived off the forest and fished the surrounding waters. The rugged shoreline and dunes were later shaped by glacier movement, giving the peninsula a distinctive landscape. In the 1800s, as the Great Lakes became a major shipping route, this area gained new importance, with lighthouses like the nearby Grand Traverse Lighthouse, guiding vessels through the often dangerous Manitou Passage. Today, Leelanau State Park protects both the natural beauty and the cultural legacy of this area, offering a glimpse into Michigan's layered past. Next, we visited the Grand Traverse Lighthouse, which is at the very tip of the peninsula. This sturdy white beacon has stood guard over Lake Michigan's Manitou Passage since 1858. For over a century, it was a critical guide for sailors navigating these treacherous waters, and a stretch once bustling with ships hauling lumber, iron ore, and grain between Chicago and the Straits of Mackinac. But this route wasn't without danger. The Manitou Passage was notorious for hidden shoals, dense fog banks, and sudden storms that could swallow vessels whole. Even seasoned mariners knew that this stretch was one of Lake Michigan's most perilous. The original lighthouse here, built in 1852, didn't last long. It quickly fell in despair and was proven inefficient for the demands of the passage. Just 6 years later, the current Grand Traverse Lighthouse rose in its place. Its robust white tower and attached keeper's dwelling became a home, and a fortress, for generations for lightkeepers and their families. Life here was challenging as it was vital. Keepers worked to maintain the light, climbing narrow stairs to polish the lenses, refuel oil lamps, and wind clockwork mechanisms, all while braving bitter winds, freezing spray, and long, lonely winters. Their vigilance saved countless ships from disaster, but not all. Beneath the surface of Lake Michigan lie the remains of vessels like Francisco Morazan, which ran aground in the 1960s near South Manitou Island, which is a grim reminder of the unforgiving nature of these waters. Today, the Grand Traverse Lighthouse has been lovingly restored as a museum, giving visitors a rare glimpse into this era. Walking through its modestly furnished rooms, you can almost hear the crackle of the wood stove and the faint scratching of a pen in the logbook as keepers recorded the day's weather and passing ships. After exploring the tower and the keeper's quarters, I stepped into the lighthouse gift shop, small, warm, and packed with many lighthouse goodies. The shelves were filled with weathered maps, replica lanterns, and books chronicling shipwrecks and lighthouse lore from across the Great Lakes. It was easy to imagine lighthouse keepers watching through the storms, recording their days in journals that are now history. But before leaving, I made a quick stop at the passport station to stamp my lighthouse book. A simple gesture, but it's one that adds my own mark to the long story of the Grand Traverse Lighthouse. From the wilds of Leelanau, we headed south along M22, one of Michigan's most breathtaking drives. This stretch of highway curves past rolling vineyards, cherry orchards heavy with fruit, and little lakeside towns that feel like they belong in a postcard. It's the kind of road that invites you to slow down, breathe in the crisp lake air, and take in the endless views of the Grand Traverse Bay, shimmering in the sunlight. Our next stop was Suttons Bay, a small village with a big personality. This quaint community was founded in the 1850s when lumbering dominated the region. Back then, Suttons Bay was a bustling port town, serving as a key stop for schooners transporting timber, fish, and goods across the bay. As the logging era faded, Suttons Bay reinvented itself. By the early 1900s, it became a summer getaway for city dwellers from Chicago and Detroit, drawn to its calm waters and relaxed pace. Today, the downtown streets are lined with historic buildings, their colorful facades now home to local art galleries, boutique shops, and cozy cafes. We took our time wandering in and out of these little storefronts, each one offering something unique. Handmade jewelry, pottery crafted by regional artists, and Michigan's famous cherry products seem to be everywhere. It's easy to see why Suttons Bay has remained a favorite stop along M22 for generations. Between its rich history and its artistic soul, it's a perfect location on the bay. Our final destination was Traverse City, often called the cherry capital of the world. Its vibrant town has proudly carried that title for over a century, thanks to the miles of cherry orchards that blanket the rolling hills surrounding Grand Traverse Bay. Michigan's unique microclimate, shaped by the moderate effects of Lake Michigan, creates perfect conditions for growing tart cherries, which remain the region's most iconic crop. We made our way to Front Street, the city's lively downtown stretch that runs parallel to the water. This area, with its historic red brick buildings, many dating back to the lumber boom in the late 1800s, now house a delightful blend of old and new. Independent bookstores and artisan gift shops sit shoulder to shoulder with craft breweries, espresso bars, and modern farm-to-table restaurants. As we walked, the air was alive with fresh scents and sounds. We wandered into shops filled with Michigan-made goods, handcrafted leather, cherry wood cutting boards, regional cookbooks, and gifts that proudly celebrated the state. It all began in the 1850s when Presbyterian missionary Peter Doherty planted the area's first cherry trees near the old Mission Peninsula. To everyone's surprise, they not only survived Michigan's harsh winters, but thrived. By the early 1900s, commercial cherry farming had taken off, and Traverse City quickly emerged as the heart of Michigan's booming fruit belt. Today, the region produces more than 75% of the nation's tart cherries, and it celebrates that heritage every July with the National Cherry Festival, a week-long event packed with parades, pit spitting contests, and cherry-themed everything. But Traverse City's story doesn't end with the cherries. Over the years, the town has grown into a dynamic cultural hub for northern Michigan. Its strong agricultural roots laid the groundwork for a blossoming food and wine scene, fueled by a deep commitment to local produce and sustainable practices. The surrounding Leelanau and Old Mission peninsulas are now dotted with boutique wineries and farm markets, making Traverse City a top destination for culinary tourism. Of course, cherry products were front and center everywhere we went, but when we spotted another Cherry Republic location here in Traverse City, we couldn't resist going in. Compared to the smaller shops we had seen, this one was a whole new level. The store was spacious, warm, and full of rustic northern Michigan charm, with shelves practically bursting with every cherry-themed product imaginable. And yet, despite all the activity and color, it's peaceful in Traverse City. It balances the energy of small city with the relaxed spirit of a lakeside town. Traverse City is a place rooted in the land, shaped by the lake, and energized by creativity. And for us, it was a perfect capstone to a day spent soaking in the wild beauty, local flowers, and deep-rooted character of the Leelanau Peninsula. There's just something about northern Michigan. The way the wild, untamed landscape meets the small towns full of life and history. It's a true hidden gem, from camping at Leelanau State Park to walking the lively streets of Traverse City. This journey reminded me of how much beauty and history Michigan's little finger holds. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.